Hello there my friends, hope you all having a really good day. So in the last video we looked at how merging works, and in this video we are going to look at the fourth sorting algorithm, which is the merge sort algorithm. So before going into the merge sort, I would like to appreciate you guys for coming this far, because you have graduated from the first level of sorting algorithms to the second level. So merge sort is not going to be your normal nested loop sorting algorithm, and it uses advanced programming concepts like recursion. So this is one of the most important algorithms, and it is very good to know this algorithm because the number of steps required to sort a list using the merge sort is far lesser than the number of steps taken by the first three sorting algorithms. So let's get started. So we shall directly take a list which is unsorted obviously, and let me consider a large list because I feel merge sort can be realized properly only if we consider a list having a considerable size. So 9, 8, 6, 4, 3, 2, 5. And let me also write the indices of each element in the list. So a list of length 7. So how merge sort works is basically it is a divide and conquer algorithm, and we need to understand what divide and conquer is. So we are going to be dividing the list into smaller sublists, and here conquering refers to sorting. So we don't divide the list directly into random sublists, but we use a very formal way of doing it, and that is by dividing the list first into half. I mean, it can be any half. It could have also been like this. So we are first dividing the list into half, and then sorting this part and sorting this part, and again merging these two lists to obtain our sorted list. And how do we sort this part? Again, we are going to divide this list into two smaller lists and sort this first part and sort the second part and merge those two. And how are we going to sort this list? So we are again going to divide this list into smaller lists. We keep on dividing the list until no further division is possible. That is, there is only one element in the list. So I'll just show you how we are going to be dividing the list first. Okay then, my guys. So I just wrote the list up here because we need a lot of place to understand how the merge sort works. So since we have the low, mid and high variables now, we sort of know how we can break the list into two parts and merge them later. So first, let us split this list into two parts. So 9, 8, 6, 4. This will be one part, and 3, 2, 5 shall be another part. Now we are going to recursively call the merge sort function so that this again gets divided into 9, 8, and this gets divided into 6, 4, and again this gets divided into 9 and 8, and this gets divided into 6 and 4. So if you did not understand what recursion means, recursion refers to a function which keeps calling itself again and again. So if we have a function called hello, and let the hello function just print hello, and if we again call the hello function inside this, so first when you call the hello function here somewhere down, then the statements in the hello function are executed. First hello gets printed to the terminal, then this function call executes, so again it goes to the start of the hello function, prints hello, and again hello is called, and so on. It keeps printing hello in an infinite loop. So that's basically how recursion works, and even in merge sort it works the same way. So you first call merge sort, then merge sort again is called for this group, and Again, the list is divided into two parts. Again, the list is divided into two parts, and so on. So this process is repeated till only a single element is left after dividing the sublists. So when we reach here, at this point, the merge sort function has completed its execution, and now we need to get our merge function into action. So I guess you all would have seen the previous video where we learned how merging works, and we also executed the function in Python and understood how you can write a simple program to merge two lists. So if you have not watched that video, I request you guys to first go watch that video before watching this, because you'll have an idea of how merging works. Don't worry, the links will be in the description. And yeah, so at this stage we are going to call the merge function. So if you recall, the merge function just combines two lists and puts them in the sorted order. So when we call the merge function by passing this list right here, this list and this list, then the resultant would look something like this, the resultant list 8 9. So this part is sorted, and when we call the merge function for this part, the same happens. It just sorts the elements of each list and puts them into a separate list. So 4 6. And now we are going to call the merge function for this list right here and this list right here. So when these two lists are merged, then the resultant list will look something like this: 4 6 8 9. This will be our list. So this part is now this part has now become like this. It is sorted. So in this way we have somehow sorted one sub list of our main list, and we have got 4 6 8 9. Now what about this part? It's nothing new, guys, the same old thing. So we are going to again divide this list into two parts. So 3 shall be one part and 2 5 will be another part, and this is again divided into 2 and 5. So one element, one element, one element. We are going to stop the recursive process and begin calling the merge function. So first these two lists are merged and we get the list 2 and 5. So next, this list right here and this list, these two are merged and we get this list 2 3 5. So this list right here is sorted too. So now we have sorted both the halves, this half and this half. So you should have guessed the next step. We are going to again call the merge function for this list right here and this list. I'm sorry, I don't have a lot of place right here, so I have to somehow manage. So understanding is what's important in that. So when we merge these two lists, the resultant list is going to look something like this: 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. Okay, so now we have got back our original list, but this list is sorted. So we have sorted the elements of this list using the merge sort. So this is how the merge sort works. I feel this algorithm can be a little difficult to digest at first, but you will understand it with time, practice, implementing in a programming language such as Python and stuff like that. Keep watching the video multiple times so that you can get a firm grip on this algorithm. Alright then, my friends, so I guess now we are ready to look at the pseudocode of the merge sort algorithm. So let's get started. So firstly we'll be writing the merge sort function, and let me call it like this, and let the function take three arguments, that is the array which we are going to pass into this function, low and high. So initially low will be 0 and high will be the index of the last element in this array. So what are we going to include in this merge sort function? We saw that we are going to repetitively divide the list into two halves, and this process is going to be done till we are left with a list having only one element. So how do we check if the list has only one element? We need an if statement here. So if low not equal to high. If low becomes equal to high, then it means that we have only one element in the list. So when low not equal to high, that is when there is not one element in the list, we are going to recursively call the merge sort function so that we can sort the list and merge them later. Now we are going to find the index of the middle element in the list. So that will be mid is equal to low plus high by 2. This double forward slash is to indicate that it is integer division and not the normal division. So this gives the middle element in the list. So now we have got to divide the list into two parts, into two sublists, and let the two sublists be array 1 and array 2. So array 1 will have the elements from low to mid because that's the first part of this array. And array 2 will have the elements from mid to high. And this is the second part of the list called array, which we have passed right here. So array 2 stores that. So now that we have got both our arrays, we have got to next sort these sub arrays array 1 and array 2. And this process is going to be done recursively. So first we'll be sorting array 1 and then we move on to array 2. So first we'll be calling merge sort. This is the same function as this. We are calling it inside itself, so it's recursive. So merge sort. Now we are going to be passing array 1 instead of this array. Array 1, comma, low, comma, mid. And next we are going to be calling the merge sort function to sort the second array, which is the array 2. So yeah, now when this statement right here gets executed, we have got to merge the list. Since both the lists have been sorted, they have to be merged. So now is the time for us to call the merge function, which we have seen in the previous videos. So I'll be writing it over here. So merge. If you remember, we are going to pass two lists and the length of the two lists into the merge function. So now we have got to pass the arrays array 1 and array 2. Array 1, array 2, and let array 1 have elements and array 2 have n elements, and we'll be passing m and n through the merge function. So we are going to keep on repeating this process again and again and again till we get the sorted list. Alright then my friends, so now that we have done with writing the pseudocode, we can try to understand how the pseudocode works by taking the example that we considered earlier, and we can understand how the control shifts in the merge sort function. So as you can see, I have also marked the merge sort statements and the merge statement with different colored pens so that we can just draw a line whenever we execute the statement so that we can understand the algorithm better. Okay, now let's get started. So first, when we call the merge sort function, we are going to execute these statements. And the first thing is we are going to get the array 1 and array 2. So in this case, the array 1 will be 9, 8, 7, 6 and the array 2 will be 3, 2, 5. So once we get these two lists, we are going to move to the merge sort statement, which is denoted by the red color. And we execute this. So I'll draw a line over here, which means the merge sort statement has been executed. And when this function calls itself, then we are again going to go through all these statements and again get our array 1 and array 2. And in this case, they are 9, 8 and 7, 6. So when we get our array 1 and array 2, we are again going to execute the merge sort statement and we draw a red line over here. So when this statement gets executed, again we go through the merge sort function, get our array1 and array2, and again merge sort is called, and it's called for this list right here, only 9. And at this stage, we understand that the function fails at this point when it again comes to merge sort, because there is only one element and the if statement becomes false, which means we have completed the execution of this merge sort statement, and we need to move on to the next statement, which is this statement. So now this statement gets executed for this list right here, which is 8. And merge sort is again called for this 8, and we observe that the if statement fails. So ideally, even this statement completes its execution and we move on to the next statement, which is the merge statement. And as we all know, merge just merges the two lists, here here we are passing 9 and 8, these two lists, through the merge statement. So essentially what it is going to return is 8, 9. This is what the merge statement is going to return. And we have finished the merge sort function. And what we are going to do with this list 8, 9. So what the merge function slyly does is, it takes this 8, 9 and puts it here. So this is no longer 9, 8, but this is 8, 9. So this is what the merge function does in between. So these are no longer needed because that statement has finished its execution and we end up here, which means the merge sort function, that is this merge sort function right here, which we executed before the current one, has finished its execution. So we need to move on to the next merge sort function with respect to this one. I'm sure you'll get it. So this gets executed for list 2, that is array 2, and we know what happens, right? So again this comes here and this gets executed, the first merge sort function gets executed, and we get 7, 6, and again the merge sort function fails here, and we are left with 7, and we move on to this green merge sort function and so on, and it fails again, and the green one is executed, which is the merge function for both 7 and 6, and it returns 6, 7, which is put here. So this is no longer 7, 6, it is actually 6, 7, and for this part, this function has finished its execution, and now let's move to the green function, which is the merge function. These two are merged and they are just put over here. So this will essentially become 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's what happens. So remember, we even executed the red function for this at first. I had forgotten to write the line, but nevertheless it's there. And this has finished its execution, so we execute the gray one for this 3 to 5, and so on. The same steps repeat, and the merge gets called for these two, and it is put here, and in the end we are left with the sorted list, which looks something like this: 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's how this merge sort function works, and that's it for this video. I understand that this was a long video, but this is a very important algorithm to understand and it takes a lot of time. So I thought it would be nice of me to help you guys with this. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next video where we'll be executing the merge sort function in Python, and bye for now.